My story, for those who don't know, takes us back to about 21 years now. So in 1991, when I was 16 years old, I was wrongfully identified in a photo lineup, then eventually arrested, wrongfully prosecuted, and then convicted by jury in 1992. The crime was murder, and the attachment was 6 attempted murders. The sentence was 30 years to life plus life, which in California basically means you're never going to get out. Then it wasn't a capital offense, but today it is. So if that would have happened today, I would definitely have been on death row. The witnesses exposed to my attorneys that they had been coerced into accepting my photograph, and then the witness who was manipulated, he then convinced everyone else that they should also pick photograph number 1. It was very compelling. There was a hearing a year ago, literally a year ago yesterday, on March 14th, and the judge actually officially ordered me released. During that hearing, these witnesses came to court and testified one after another, along with experts, and there was a reenactment of the crime scene. The identity of the actual suspects is now known. It just was, I mean, if there was a case that just wanted the innocence, definitely mine was the one.
I'm a federal public defender doing death penalty work. I'll disclose my bias. I went to Loyola Law School in 1986 at the height of the California death penalty. And the only reason I became a lawyer was to fight the death penalty wars. It is my only interest in being an attorney, and I have extremely strong personal, moral, and religious objections to the death penalty. But you know, the real problem with the death penalty in California and in America is it is hopelessly broken and infected with racial discrimination and unaddressed problems, and prosecutors and politicians using the death penalty to foment the electorate up in order to gain power. And everybody in the system knows it. And the higher in the system that one is, the more that they know it. It is amazing the number of United States Supreme Court justices who at bar functions and in an academic context announced that they have never seen a properly defended death penalty case in the U.S. Supreme Court, that even though they voted to reinstate the death penalty, they don't want to tinker with it anymore because the experiment has failed and you can't fix it, you can't make it non-racial, and yet it continues. And why does it continue? It continues because the death penalty is so deeply ingrained in the American psyche, and rather than just abandoning it and move on, we keep trying to pretend that it can be fixed and covering up all of the problems.
Trial to put someone on death row costs about $1 million more for the county, rather than putting someone in life without the possibility of parole. Takes longer. And the appeals process costs mountains more when someone's life is on the line, rather than when someone is going to serve life without the possibility of parole. So all of that basically means every stage of the process when death is on the table costs significantly more.